All right, welcome back. Talking about streaming. So we are going to talk about T.L. Taylor's introduction to broadcasting ourselves from her book Watch Me Play, Twitch and the Rise of Game Live Streaming. It's a recent book from Princeton University Press for 2018. Just really a couple of points. And the first is which is my favorite song, probably, off of Nonstop Pop FM on GTA 5 and GTA Online. And I bring this up to say that y'all youngins have a tendency to think of, especially your, like, quote unquote, your culture as to be completely new, completely hip, completely different. But time and time again, we read about these things, and they aren't clean breaks from old industry, old media. So another way to put this is what's so new about new media? Quite a bit, but not as much as you might think. Similarly for here, streaming, the practice of streaming, live streaming, does link up, especially with something like, again, television. Like, don't be surprised. And just to kind of emphasize that point, that anytime you find yourself just sort of making, like kind of loosely making the claim that this is like nothing we've ever seen before, that's just never, it's almost never true. I just don't think. In doing so, you're kind of conveniently either forgetting or even erasing really important historical continuities, especially in terms of media and technology. Two, to pick up on where we left off last week, and you'll hear this on Thursday as well, advertising. One of the sort of key ideas that you'll hear a lot in detective fiction, or I mean elsewhere as well, is like if you want answers, chase the money. One thing that I've found myself doing as a media scholar is suggesting that every time you hear or I get a question about a film, kind of cutely, the answer is almost always going to be money. Similarly, I actually started this class because I didn't really have my head completely wrapped around streaming culture and streaming platforms and the shift, because it's moved so quickly, and you know I've been witness to it. I'm a part of it, but I haven't done any work on it, and so and I knew that you guys were so kind of deep in this that it had to be addressed. And I keep talking about like the kind of secret antagonists, the last boss, the final boss. What is all of this really about? And increasingly more, especially when it comes to platforms, and even with Netflix, it's a structuring absence. But for other platforms, I realize that it's still always about money, and ultimately it's about advertising. And so yeah, we'll go from there. Let's move on to the introduction, the actual introduction.